After 11 years and 22 movies, we finally reached the end of the Infinity Saga, and what an end it is. We're here breaking down Avengers Endgame for you right now on Fandom Nonsense. Coming up next.
I don't feel so good. It's still wrong.
Wait, Nolan, that's the wrong movie.
A Soul for a Soul. That's in both.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. Red Skull really pops it in there.
Yeah. First there was a snap, then the snap back. There were 2 snaps in this movie.
There were more than 2 snaps in this movie. Were there?
Was
Hulk, Thanos, Iron Man.
Yeah.
Or like,
Did Hulk snap?
Yeah?
Yeah,
Hulk, yeah. How do you think everybody came
Oh,
back?
that's right.
Yeah. But
Did Thanos snap?
Thanos, but it doesn't count.
It totally counts. It was a snap.
He did snap,
No, but he didn't. Not the
stones
not the
weren't
snap. Like
He didn't-
capitalized
right.
snap.
Okay.
Right. Like,
So as the
Cardi B
reference
doesn't
to-
snap.
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
No, I definitely think it counts. At least a little bit. He tried. He tried his best. He had the best intentions.
Whoa, hang on.
Well, if we're counting Thanos' snaps, then he snapped like twice to test it, because like it didn't happen the first time, and then he tried it again and was like, what? And then turned around.
Not canon snaps. I don't.
We got a long way to get there
Yeah, we do.
before we decide if
Oh,
Thanos
yeah.
counts as a snap. But welcome to a very special Nonsense. Zach.
I'm Aaron.
Serena.
And I'm also Nolan.
And I'm Colin, being your god voice today.
Whew. What a ride.
That looks awesome right now. Yeah, that's right.
It's really hard to know where to start, but I guess you should just start at
Yeah,
Ronan.
let's start at the beginning. Fucking Hawkeye's being Mr. Mom.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, first time watching it, it was like I knew what was
Right.
about to happen.
Right.
I knew what was about to happen. I didn't know how it was going to go down.
Yeah.
But just like him turning around and then just watching his daughter just.
But he didn't know what was happening.
No, he had
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah.
He didn't know about Thanos.
He didn't even put together the dust was them. He was just like, they're vanished.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man,
They
the
ran
horror.
away.
Yeah, he probably still ran into his house and still screamed for them, thinking they would be in there, and then searched all around his property, and
Yeah.
probably a lot more sadness into that than what we saw.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh.
I mean, he did go on like that murdering spree, so that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. I assume he got drugged through the murk and the mire.
He looked pretty unhealthy. He looked pretty small.
Yeah. The first, not even the first act, the prologue of this movie dismantled every expectation I had going into it. You know, like
Yeah.
we took out Thanos so quick and like came in with a plan and like, let's do this. Like, all right, we're jumping right into the gun.
Right.
Like right out the gate. This is how are we gonna suspend this for three hours?
Yeah.
And then
Decapitates Thanos.
and then we're left in kind of left in the water, like, okay, now where do we go? What happens here? How do we make this work? And of course, anybody could have seen the time travel thing coming. I think the only options were they're doing something like that or something super mystical and stuff. And they've kind of given themselves the option to go either way with that. But I think they went the right way with going more of the hard sci-fi kind of route.
Did you guys expect to see a wounded Thanos whenever they got there?
Kind
No.
of. Kind
No.
of. I mean.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't expect him to be like 100% or just to be so done with combat because he got what he wanted accomplished, and he had, like, I assumed he wasn't just gonna. Because of what we saw at the end of Infinity War about him, he was just kind of chilling.
Well, yeah, he wasn't like wounded or anything.
Yeah.
At the end of Infinity
Yeah, no,
War.
I mean, I didn't expect him to be wounded, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I expected him to not be combat ready. I expected him to not even be thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just living his mundane life, harvesting his.
Living on the farm.
Yeah. He was doing what Clint was doing, except for he killed his daughter.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay. All right. That was rude.
rough.
Yeah, it is rude to kill your daughter.
It's very.
That's the whole point.
Do you say too soon in a moment like that, or time travel's weird?
Time travel
was-
is weird.
I mean, I didn't really expect the second snap to be a thing, as well, because like
Yeah.
I didn't I didn't think of him doing anything else. I thought that would just be
Oh, like he would just have the stones with
Yeah.
him.
yeah.
No. I really like.
And I like that that's how they found it too, because that.
I use the
that
stones
was
to
cosmic
destroy the
energy.
stones. Just
Yeah.
like,
I kind of just
All right,
assumed he
bro.
would smash them, but I didn't know if that was possible.
I don't think he could. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure like it was like a frequency kind of deal. Like you had to be able to hit it with an energy, then match the frequency, and then
Yeah, I think
Well, and like
certain stones have dominion over other stones.
And I
Yeah.
mean,
Well-
Scarlet did that.
and also, that's true. I was gonna say like certain stones, like the reality stone, its natural state is an ether. So like the stones aren't like even if you smash them, that doesn't necessarily destroy their energy.
Right.
It just dissipates it. But
Yeah.
you're right. She did destroy the mind
Yep.
stone.
So does it work like the Shikon jewel? Inuyasha.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't that the Soul Stone?
No, it was the mind stone that was in
okay.
in Vision. Because the soul stone, he had to
I'm-
sacrifice
you had
Gamora.
to do, yeah. I just had a blank.
Yeah, sacrifice what you love.
Speaking of which, even with things like sacrificing Gamora, it's amazing how Infinity War framed it in a way that at least made Thanos sympathetic.
Yeah,
And
But in
like,
this one, he was just a fucking dig.
yeah.
A smart dig.
yeah, which kind of, in general, this movie felt a lot more.
Grounded.
Kind of.
It felt
A lot-
it felt super grounded.
A lot easier, not easier to predict, but a lot more classical
Yeah.
plotline. Like villains are villains, heroes are heroes.
Yeah.
You have to be okay with that
Yeah.
going into this, or it's not.
Right.
Like the context of the movie doesn't draw that into question at all.
Yeah.
You're not trying to. You're no longer trying to characterize Thanos as somebody that you could potentially side with,
Right.
because his motivations are so absolutely separate from anybody on Earth.
Yeah.
And he ends up with absolute contempt for Earth,
Yeah.
specifically.
Do you think Thanos was more of a dick because he wasn't humbled by having to sacrifice his own daughter?
Yeah, I think we're getting like the consequence list.
We're getting 2014 like before the first Guardians happens. Thanos.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the Mad Titan Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like
he
there's
hasn't had the
definitely a lot of
conflict.
stuff in those years that pass afterward that kind of probably brought him back down to a different
Yeah.
demeanor
Yeah.
about it.
No, he's a butthole. Man,
was.
you know who wasn't a butthole though? Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd killed it in this damn movie.
Yeah.
Did so good. Him and Bradley Cooper as Rocket.
Yeah.
Indeed.
The emotional center.
Yeah. But just his first talk with Captain America and Black Widow, he's just like, is anybody gonna eat the sandwich? And then like starts talking about like being able to travel through time, and they're like, so you mean time travel? It's like, no, definitely not that.
You mean a time machine?
yeah.
No.
No, it's like it's a time machine.
Which I reacted just like everybody else in that scene, being like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, really? Are we gonna have a time machine plot? Because that,
You didn't expect it?
not at all. Well, I mean, I thought it was like the only thing that could have happened for it to be
Too
what
on the
actually
nose.
happened. Yeah.
I like that they like almost one by one went through all of the pop culture tropes
Yeah.
of Back to the Future, Bill and Ted. Like no, it's not.
It's all bullshit.
That's all bullshit.
Right.
It's like it's very very DBZ rules of time travel.
Yeah.
Like you go back, but it doesn't affect your timeline.
Yeah.
It just affects
That
that
timeline.
timeline, and it creates different diversions whenever
Yeah.
you like create different paths and everything.
It's actually kind of weird
Well-
because in the comics, the Infinity Stones don't work in any other universe than that universe they're created
Right.
in.
Yeah. But I think but with it being like, if it is like DBZ rules, it would still be the same universe because they're still going
Yeah.
back to their past, but that
True.
creates an alternate future that like, because
Right.
But they
Are
returned
they-
the stones.
Yeah, I don't think they're creating a divergent timeline.
They're doing.
but they have to because things
right,
like
but then they're correct. Like,
well,
Then they
how does
correct
it work?
but think about things like Loki, and we'll get into Cap later, but Cap going back to the past and living
Yeah.
out his life. That was a different
You're
timeline.
right.
Yeah, but he ends up in the same timeline.
Yeah, he ends up in the same timeline because
That's-
everything's the same other than
Yeah,
him.
he just moves his place in the timeline. I thought the point they were making was that you couldn't change your own timeline. You can only change what is past and future relative to you.
This means that Loki could possibly be alive now, right? Because
Well, anybody could be alive if you like take them from the past now, because that's what ends up happening.
Well,
like Gamora is alive.
Right, because of 2014.
Well,
Gamora.
Right.
talking about like whenever they were all in the past, he took the Tesseract and flooped out of time, or at least
Out of
there
space.
out of space.
Yeah.
He could still be alive. An alternate version of him still be alive.
Well, we do have the Loki show coming to Disney Plus, and I was expecting that to be a prequel.
The Loki show. The Loki show.
I was expecting it to be a prequel, but it was probably going to be a talk show.
Oh my god.
Hi, I'm Loki. Gold of Mischief.
Oh no, he'd have a prank show if anything, wouldn't he?
It'd be a
With those
combination.
crappy sound effects. Fucking just he throws a banana peel and just fucking you just say, what?
My guest tonight, the God of Thunder, bring him out. My brother Thor walks out and he slips on a banana.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Just screams, "We're adopted."
I will say the prank, the snake prank line from Ragnarok is probably my favorite thing.
Wasn't that improv?
I have no idea if it actually was or not, but it like him saying he turned into a snake, and then since I really like
He
he
said
knew
the same
I, he
thing.
knew I like snakes, so
I picked him up, he bit me.
No, wait, no, he turned back into himself and he stabbed him.
Yeah.
And then he stabbed me, which makes it even worse. Like, and then
Which doesn't even
Hiddleston's
make
just
any
like
sense.
laughing.
He's just like, oh, snake, brother.
He might as well just walked up to him and stabbed him, or like stuck up on him.
No, it gives him a feeling of like innocence.
A false sense of security.
Yeah, there's like this in a Spider-Man comic where is it Black Cat? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Where she like walks up to him and she gets all close to him and she's just like, I love you, Peter, or I love you, Spider-Man, and then like gets down on one knee and goes, will you marry me? And he's just like, what? And then she like kicks out his legs from under him and kicks him in the stomach, and just like it takes a lot to get past them spider senses, doesn't it? Same thing with Thor and Loki.
Although if Loki proposed to Thor, I don't know. They'd have quite the same
I'm
effect.
pretty sure if Loki proposed to Thor and then got up and stabbed him real quick, he fucking ran away.
Be pretty good.
I would like it.
I mean, they're technically not blood.
Oh man.
So wait a minute. Does that mean? Because this is still bugging me. Does that mean that Cap was married to Peggy while young Cap was going around making out with her great niece or whatever Sharon was?
Oh.
That's what I talked. Yeah, that's what I said.
See, that's why I think that like being in a different timeline and hopping over at that moment when the timelines converged makes more sense than like going back and living in that same life.
Did he ever tell Peggy that he
That'd be
made out
weird.
with her niece?
I highly doubt it. I bet it. I highly doubt it came up.
Yeah, it never came up.
I think he'd just have to be aware of where he was while he was younger Cap.
Yeah, or where the cameras were rolling at for any of
Right.
these movies.
Yeah.
Exactly. God damn. See, this is why I question the time travel thing.
Right.
I feel like I'm glad they decided to do it in the conclusion, because it's the only time they really could have done
Yeah.
it.
Right. And I hope the thing is, with having Ant-Man around and everything, the door is always there, but I hope we avoid that in the future and
What,
don't.
time travel more
Yeah.
often? Yeah.
Well, we are working towards Dark Avengers, right? Isn't that the theory?
No, it's a theory that some people have, but I doubt.
Because now we
I
don't
doubt
have Cap and we don't have Iron Man, so we could definitely get Iron Patriot.
We do have a Captain America.
Iron
Yeah.
Patriot has already existed in this universe. Iron
Who?
Man 2. They made an iteration of the Iron Patriot.
Oh, was that canonically like the Iron Patriot
Yes.
of the MCU? Oh, I
It was
didn't realize
Rhodes
that.
as the Iron Patriot. It
Yeah.
was War Machine in a Star Spangled Outfit.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just like how the Shocker is just a glove in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. So
We
never
have,
mind. Fuck that theory, I guess.
We have iron pots now.
Rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Iron Pots.
That is that was super awesome.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
That suit is awesome.
I'd like to get an A-Force movie, but
Yeah.
we'll get to that in a minute. There's a lot to talk about
There's
once
so
we get to
much.
the big fight.
Man,
What do
before
you want to pick up again?
Big Hulk,
Yep.
super smart Hulk,
yeah.
Hulk
Professor
Banner,
Hulk. Yeah.
Banner Hulk,
Dr. Hulk,
Hulker.
isn't it?
Professor Hulk.
Professor
Bruce
Hulk.
Hulker.
He got his therapy in. He definitely had a lot to confront.
No,
I definitely didn't expect that.
He said he spent 18 months in a.
In like
Gamma
the
chamber.
Yeah.
The gamma chamber.
Well, he said
Two
in
men
the,
enter.
he said in the Gamma Lab.
Yeah, Gamma. That's what it's
I'm
the Gamma
assuming
Lab.
I'm assuming
men
that it
enter.
wasn't 18
Two
months
men
straight
leave?
up Gamma, because that would be fucking insane.
Right. He's probably just doing therapy and
Researching
everything.
and shit.
Yeah.
A lot more of a detached Hulk than we've seen.
You know what I
Him
love?
seeing himself was hilarious.
Yeah.
What I loved about the Hulk in this movie was the only time that you actually saw him genuinely get mad and rage out was when he found out that Nat was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And
every
he-
other time, he was controlled and almost like
Didn't
embarrassed
even Hulk
of
out
his.
whenever he figured that out.
He
He
didn't.
threw the
Yeah, he-
bench.
Oh yeah,
he-
that's fair.
He,
He
punched,
got
He
mad.
punched,
Yeah,
and then he
that's
threw the bench, and then he quoted himself as like, "She's gone. She's not coming back. We have to make it worth it." But I wanted to see that process, but there probably wouldn't have been much to see there of him just being like, "Okay, let me just sit in the Gamma chamber or Gamma lab and pretty much complete the process of uniting their brains together." Because
It's- in the comics, there's like this nice, cool scene of like it just becomes like a darkened outside, and then this like light down in the middle, and it's the Hulk on one side and Bruce Banner on the other.
Yeah.
Have
And
them
it-
inside their mind having an actual conversation.
And that would have been, if we would have, could have gotten a Hulk movie, that would have been great to see, but it would have been
Yeah.
a distraction in this. I think the
I agree,
explanation was good enough.
No,
and
yeah.
it's a good, from the story that really started in Age of Ultron for the Hulk. It's a really good, and going back further than that, but especially Age of Ultron and him, blasting off and ending up on Planet Hulk with Thor and everything, and through Infinity War and to this, it's a good resolution to the story that he's been on.
This is the kind of time where I wish they had like my favorite book is a book series called Pendragon, and they have short, like the regular books are like this big, and the other ones are like probably a third to a quarter of their size, and it's just like short things that happened in between the stories that you read of different characters that there just wasn't a necessity to show, but later on you're like, oh, I wonder what happened here. So I wish they would do that kind of stuff in like 20 minute like actual cinematic stuff.
Well, there's the
Canonic
possibility.
filler.
There's a possibility for that with the Disney Plus shows,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
because Falcon and Bucky are getting a show, I think, and so that's going to be
That's
probably
dope.
the new like Captain America thing until they do a Avengers team up movie, and then Loki is getting a show, and then I think Scarlet Witch
Yep.
and Vision, which that's interesting because in the comics they brought Vision back to life, but like his memory and personality were all wiped and everything. So that'd be a fun story to
How
explore.
would they bring him back to life?
You just build another one.
Yeah, I can't
Oh,
remember what
And
they.
you'll never get the same Jarvis
No.
that you had
No.
before. You'll never.
That's the point, though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not really Vision.
I mean, if you call it vision, that quacks
Did-
like a duck and it,
It'd be
computes.
Vision too.
I'm drawing a blank. Did the
High-tier
snap bring
algorithms
back
and-
Vision?
Vision.
No.
Snap did not bring back. Snap.
Okay.
The
I
snap
was
did
like-
not kill Vision. Therefore, the snap did not bring Vision back.
Okay. I was like, we didn't see him. I didn't think so.
Vision, Heimdall, our Loki.
Heimdall's
our-
not back.
Nope. Our Loki, our Gamora, Black Widow, and of course, Iron Man. And who else? is
Steve
it?
Rogers.
Would you count Steve Rogers as like a casualty though? Because
Not really.
Yeah.
He did what he wanted to do.
exactly, he could have come back and lived his life here.
Count
he
it
lived
as a
full life.
suicide. It's okay.
A lot of Wakandan
It's not even-
soldiers are
It's
gone.
not even a suicide. Like
I
he,
know.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
Bad joke.
He opposite of suicide.
Yeah, he lived-
He extra lifed. He
yeah.
He
Which
literally
I was
one-upped
wondering-
himself.
Yeah.
Which I was wondering how old was he there technically?
Also,
Because
did he
of
keep
how-
that same hairstyle throughout all that time?
You're goddamn right he did.
It's
He
America's
probably grew a
hairstyle.
beard a few times and then just like
Yeah.
cut it off. And
I guess the question, Colin, on
he
that
ages
is,
well. He was a fine
is
wine.
did he go back to the 1940s
Yeah.
and live his life with Peggy, or did he go back to like the
Also, he has
70s
a-
Shield era?
He has the
and
super
start from-
serum,
and
so
start
he's
from
not going to
there?
age like other people anyway. So
Right.
it's like, how
Oh yeah, that's why
actually
he looks like
old?
that. You remember what Peggy looked like in fucking Winter Soldier? She
Yeah.
looked like dirt.
Yeah, that's a good.
She
point.
looked like Alzheimer-filled dirt.
So
Was that just CGI'd makeup Rogers?
It was makeup
Or
and
was it-
CGI.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
a combo of both.
I couldn't tell. There were some scenes like there were
Looked
some
really
like
good.
parts
You know
of
what?
that
Looked really
Man,
that I was
they
like,
did
is that a
build
different
this.
actor?
I'm pretty sure
I know,
Robert
right?
Downey Jr. was CGI'd in the very beginning of the film while he was on the spaceship. Pretty sure his body was CGI'd to look smaller than it actually is.
oh
I
yeah,
think
like,
Like
you're
like
emaciated.
they,
probably right
they
on that.
used a lot of CGI in a lot of places. That
But
were
it was
just
so
accident. Yeah, they're just
good.
accident. Tron helped them out so much.
Wait, what?
hey,
That was the first time they tried it.
Having-
The whole full face CGI thing with
having ILM in house helps out a lot too.
I do love lemon houses.
What?
Oh, do we want to talk about the big three?
We should.
Oof,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the heroes of this whole saga. Really, when you get down to
I was
it.
thinking about Captain America's ass is what I
I
was
know.
thinking about.
I'm
Jesus.
waiting to get
Yeah,
to
like
that.
we're getting. I just want to
America's
get into
ass.
the time travel bit. Fucking Cap versus Cap. I
Yeah,
can
that was
do
great.
this all day. Yeah, I
know.
know. You've heard that in like 1, 2, 3, 4 movies before this one. Captain America, then Winter Soldier. Did he say it in Infinity War? No. I know
Under
he's-
his breath.
He said it in Civil War.
He said it in Civil War II.
There's
Tony,
only one Civil War.
to Tony.
Some more too, Electric Boogaloo.
Civil War to Tony is what I meant.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hear you say Tony. That was
Oh, I mean, no, I didn't
Like,
say
that
Tony.
was- that
I
was
just
a
know.
really
I said
good-
it's. He did it in Civil War.
that was a really good scene. That entire fight
Oh,
scene
yeah.
was beautifully choreographed.
But yeah, no, just that mockery of himself.
Yeah.
And also look how much language we got from Cap this
Yeah,
fucking
right?
movie. Cap was cussing up a storm in here.
This is a more grizzled. This is a more realistic Captain
I
America.
mean, he's been hit with a lot recently.
Yeah.
Man, Cap's eyes whenever they go into warp space in the beginning of the movie, whenever they go to first kill Thanos,
Yeah.
fucking his eyes are just being like, oh my god, there's not a god. Wait, what? Well,
I've been fighting with one for forever.
he found what that one dude found, perspective.
Yeah, for all of the great, I don't call them supporting characters. I mean, there's great characters all around in this movie. I really felt like this movie, as it needed to be, was very much Captain's, Iron Man, and Thor's movie more than anybody.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't know. Hawkeye and Black Widow got their fill.
Oh,
in this movie as
everybody
well.
got
I was
some.
gonna say like
some
Nebula.
Yeah,
And
Nebula for sure.
This is definitely a Nebula-filled movie. They used
Oh.
Nebula to make Thanos look more worse than he already was.
Yeah, we definitely saw Thanos through Nebula's eyes, but
Was she already damaged when she fought herself?
She's been damaged her whole life, bruh.
When she fought herself is what I'm saying.
Yeah, didn't she have her hand all
Yeah.
melted?
yeah,
Oh,
she did.
yeah, okay.
Which-
That I was
whoa.
like, why was
Yeah.
that
Oh,
not
well, when she
more
stuck
of
it
an
in there to
even
get the
fight?
powers down?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we know she feels pain. Mm-hmm. She just melted her
I mean,
hand off.
Yeah, this is the end all be all. This is how she gets people back. Man, and also God, redoing the opening of Guardians of the Galaxy during that part,
Oh my
I
God.
fucking
Yes.
loved. And then they got it from their perspective. It's just like, you're right. He is an idiot. It's just like,
Oh man. Dude Lebowski, Thor.
oh my gosh,
Yeah. Dude Odinson. Holy shit.
dude, Odinson.
That's the thing with why I say it's really framed from their perspective and it's their story, because you see like the failure of the last time and how the three of them deal with it. You know, Tony is very much, you know, we failed.
Lost in space.
Well, like once he gets back and they, you know, and they do the thing and they try to stop Thanos and they feel like they've ultimately failed. The Infinity Stones are gone. Everybody's gone. You know, Tony is, we failed and I moved on and tried to redeem myself in some way with starting a life and everything. And Cap has the attitude of, we failed. We have to press on and keep
Yeah.
and keep fighting. And Thor is, we
Question.
failed, but it's internalized to I failed.
yeah. Thor is a god. You know, he's been raised his whole life to know that he is special. Because in the context of his reality, he is in the highest echelon of power.
Right.
And he always has been. So whenever he fails, whenever he loses,
He becomes the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, it's his whole worldview is failed. The only rational way he knows how to react to that is to just give up and start drinking himself to death.
Yeah.
Say just immediately before he lost Asgard too.
Yeah.
Like it hadn't even been like a month.
Right.
So he doesn't have his people. He doesn't have his family, and his power was nothing against the Titan. And even though he was the one to take the kill, it was still for nothing, because what does it mean? You know, he can't bring the people back or anything.
Yeah, he tries to at one point mention that as an accolade of his own. Like, who else killed Thanos?
And it's almost like it's probably salt in the wound a little bit, because I could have gone for the head and this wouldn't have happened.
Exactly.
I could have ended this back in Wakanda, and this is I know I could have. I killed Thanos. I could have done it, and I failed.
It's probably what was going through his head whenever he was sitting there looking like Slim Shady in the beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. It's like, why did I not go for the head? Why did I not go for the head?
Oh yeah, you can tell through the whole movie he's wrestling with that.
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful moment in whenever he goes back to Asgard.
No, it's sitting with his mom.
Yeah, and pulls.
I really thought his mom was gonna be like, and just remember, it's okay to take a shower.
Eat a salad.
Right.
Oh man, he looked like melted ice cream. Oh my god. That's another thing. They stripped him of his vanity.
Yeah.
For the most part. You know, he's still
I mean, he's still got a beer gut 4-pack, but
right. He's still super powerful.
Oh, yeah.
He never loses that. But
you could obviously see the difference in him whenever we saw him fight, though.
yeah,
Like, he was nowhere near his full capabilities.
I don't know. Once at the end of the movie, that was almost like pure Thor, Odin's son, like when he actually called down the thunder. When the three of them went against Thanos.
Dude, when Cap called down the
when
fucking
Cap
thunder.
Yes.
That was
said,
amazing.
oh my god.
He did it twice. He was like, bow, what? Nah, bow.
Just that first shot that you see him pull up with the shield and Mjolnir in his hand is just, to me, the most like that is up there with the Civil War shot of him and Tony going at it under the pass or whatever. And even like composition wise, just the grit and everything in that shot is just so beautifully done, which I guess we can sit here all day trying to make sense of the time travel shenanigans bullshit.
Yeah, no, I mean,
but
it's not worth thinking about because it only feeds into the. I mean,
right.
It's just a. You're never going to be able to fill in all the plot holes if they do exist
It's
in the context
timey-wimey
of the movie.
bullshit.
Right.
That's all it is.
Which is why I question the decision.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Well, one thing that I questioned was, and I only questioned for a second because my other buddy was explained it in a way that I understood, but fucking Cap picking up Mjolnir and then immediately knowing really, really well how to use the damn thing.
He's a
Well,
a strategist. He's
I
watched
understand
Thor
that he's a
do it.
yeah.
Well, that was what I didn't think about is that he's been fighting next to Thor for fucking forever.
That's why he was. That's why he was
Probably
using
knows
those,
every fucking
those
move in his
combos
book.
that he was doing. Like
Yeah.
fucking like he would throw the shield at Thanos, but it would go past him, and then fucking Cap threw it at the shield in midair, and the fucking shield made a bounce, and that fucking sound wave pushed Thanos forward into a fucking uppercut. What the fuck? That's but that's the same kind of shit that they would do together. But now he had the ability to just do it all on his own, which was 10 times cooler.
I'm glad they brought that tease from Ultron up to something.
Yeah. Well, it's a tease, and it's also like it's another sign of character development and growth. Like that Cap was almost like, if anybody had some amount of worthiness and that scene in Ultron, it was obviously Captain America.
Yeah.
But then through all of his experiences since then, the things he's had to confront, especially with Bucky and everything, he's proven himself worthy to wield Mjolnir.
And that I feel like is a part of the reason that he chose to just go back because he had already kind of made himself literally by every definition, including a fucking ancient weapon, a hero, and fuck,
Kind of.
like
Because some people think that like
he did call down lightning. He did what gods do. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, fucking, where am I going from here?
some people think that like Cap was faking into that scene in Age of Ultron, but like there's a reason why Thor was so happy when he called Mjolnir in this scene when he was in Asgard and everything. Like it is a fluctuating dynamic thing. Like Thor is not just guaranteed worthy by right of being Thor. He's worthy because of the character of his personality and everything, and like his worthiness, and he
thought he had fallen far enough.
Yeah, he can fall far enough, and so that's the beautiful thing about that moment was
I'm still worthy.
I'm still worthy. Yeah.
So does that mean Stormbreaker just comes to him to come to him? Like there's no.
I mean, he
There's no clause for that. Fucking Thanos wielded it.
exactly like he forged Stormbreaker.
Yeah, it's
so I
not-
think that's his.
I don't think it's
regard.
bound. Yeah, it's not bound by the same magic that Mjolnir
Well, yeah,
is.
yeah. Cap caught it and hung out with it, and they fucking
That
flip
was
flop.
fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
No,
You
you
take
get
the little one.
You take the little one. Okay.
I was expecting at least a cameo from Beta Ray Bill.
Really?
I think we're gonna get that in Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I was thinking in a Captain Marvel sequel we could
That too.
for sure.
That would be.
Which
oh,
we
that
haven't
would
talked
make
about
sense.
yet is Captain Marvel in this movie.
Oh my god,
Deus Ex Marvela
Yeah, that's pretty much what I
times
saw there.
two. Times two.
that is her role.
Long-haired
I
Deus
said-
Ex Marvela, short-haired Deus Ex Marvela.
I said Deus Ex Capitan, but it was the same thing.
I mean, yeah, she's super powerful, but is she though? I mean, she took out the ship, but she also got smashed by Thanos.
Well,
Well, she's the only person that can like direct fist
mean-
fight Thanos.
I mean,
yeah.
she's
And she took a full-on punch from him until he used
to
the
her
Power Stone,
forehead.
Which, man,
that punch is so fucking good.
yeah. And
You know what punch is better than that though? I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Ant-Man,
Ant-Man. Ant-Man punching that motherfucking sky thing.
the Leviathan, whatever
God,
it is.
dude. Oh, that was at first before even punching him, stomping and squishing the fucking the big dude,
Yeah.
the like one of Thanos' main four.
Yeah.
Just squishing him, and then camera goes up to. Oh my God! Paul Rudd had to feel so cool seeing that in theaters.
I don't know if I'm looking too far into it, but that kind of looked like he did the exact same movement that Hulk did when he did it.
You probably are.
And he is like a super fan of all of
That's true.
all of the people.
That's true too, though.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So like
the,
that would make
The
sense.
kid-
if
the restaurant
Yeah.
scene, yeah.
he just wanted to feel badass in that moment.
It's like, I'm Ant-Man. Do you want?
Yeah,
Hey, you're Hulk fans. Oh, you want to take a picture? He's like, he's shaking his head. And I
no.
was like, just take the goddamn picture.
I walked out to take a pee directly after they said that because I was like, oh wait, Hulk's eating. I've been told by every review that you can go and pee right now and you won't miss storyline. And I got back right in time for I Love You 3000. So I was like, oh, thank God.
Oh, Morgan.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That is the
poor little
cutest
girl.
kid on the face of this
Yeah.
earth.
Cheeseburgers gonna give me fucking a heart attack now.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah, the other kind.
So, whenever Iron Man snapped his fingers,
yeah.
did like I'm just trying to imagine the way that would work because I'm guessing that it takes some of your power, some of your mind, some of your insides in general. After he snapped, like, do you think he was just like he looked like he was just a fucking vegetable at
Yeah.
that point? The only thing his last
yeah.
words were "Hey Pep." That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing else. Other than that, it was just.
He was pretty much gone.
Yeah.
He was struggling to hang on.
I know, but I feel like it just it wrecked his brain, it wrecked his buzz.
You know, a lot of times people in hospice and stuff will hold on until until their family members can come and say goodbye. Like my great uncle, he was in the hospital for 2 months. He had throat cancer, and the day he came, they're like, "There's nothing more we can do. Like he's just gonna just sit here and die. Like we're just gonna just send him home and give him hospice care." The day he came home, he died because he just finally it's even though just barely clinging on, never woke up or anything, just laying there sleeping for 2 weeks. He finally died because just finally let go, and that's the kind of thing I feel like with Tony was just barely clinging on, and just Pepper saying, we're going to be okay. You can rest now. It's just
Yeah.
what little was left is like, okay, letting
And then
go.
his nose, finally the blood drips out.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, oh, he actually is
Yeah.
dead.
Oh yeah. I mean, just looking at him, you knew it was about to happen.
Does it take
just shit
energy
his
from you,
pants
or
right
does it
then.
just push so much energy
Oh, he
through
did.
you
I'm
that
guessing it's a bit of column A and column B. Like they have to use. It's using his own body, his own energy to manifest it.
It's like a conduit for it, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well,
It's
and
like
it's-
your body
it's-
works like a battery, sort of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like,
He depleted his mind, his body, his soul, his reality, his
I mean, imagine it's like
time.
wonder that
it's
does-
like a cajillion volt battery just
Yeah.
shooting off on your arm.
It's like licking the world's largest battery.
Speaking of Tony in the snap, Hulk in the snap, when Thor was begging,
Oh yeah,
with the
he
gauntlet
just
on the
wanted
first
that was
time,
that
he
was
like,
him.
I need this.
He
and
wants
Thor-
that redemption.
Yeah.
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 Hulk was like, guys, you saw Thanos. He nearly died. I'm the only one here that even has that type of power.
Yeah, which Hulk was in a fucking brace
Yeah.
after that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you saw it. Like it fucked him up.
Yeah.
Like
Is he gonna be able to use his arm anymore?
probably it'll probably end up healing. Hulk
he's
Hulk
kinda-
has a great regenerative
Yeah,
factor.
shouldn't it have just immediately healed then?
I mean,
That,
yeah.
that shows
The
the
amount of
damage
fucking
that he
stress
took.
and
Right.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's. I mean, it's been that long, and the funeral probably took place a few days
Right.
afterwards.
I feel like the
Okay.
hardest part about what they had to
Pretty
deal
sure he
with
can
is the
regenerate
fact.
limbs.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But the hardest part about like putting on that the Iron Gauntlet, they're getting all the stones at once.
Yeah.
They're not like Thanos got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
They did not get that.
But when in Infinity War, when Thanos put in the, what was the last one he got? The Mind Stone.
Mind Stone.
Yeah, he put that in. It gave the same like power surge. Like each one gives a little bit. But when they're all in there together, I think it activates it. So it's still
Also,
like,
he's holding them like they're fucking Skittles the whole time. It's not like he had much trouble handling them.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just of a higher. What is he, a deviant? Or
Yeah,
is
deviant.
He's a deviant, eternal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's like, fucking fuck our mutants. Like,
Can Bruce Banner regenerate his own limbs, or is it Hulk that can regenerate those?
It's the Hulk.
Hulk.
yeah.
So, with the way
They are right
Professor
now,
Hulk is,
yeah.
they're just split in half, so he probably doesn't have that full regeneration.
I think he
power.
has all of the power that he did. as
right. He
Hulk.
has
He has all the Hulk power.
and all the mind of Bruce.
Yeah.
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 They just combined. They're not two halves of somebody. They're two wholes into one person.
That's why whenever the Sorcerer Supreme forced his soul out, it was Bruce that came
Yeah.
out.
which fucking great scene.
That wasn't really
Yeah, I was happy they brought her back.
You know, also they didn't need that visual of her doing the timeline for that to make sense.
Right.
I thought it was so neat.
It would look cool.
Yeah, it looked great.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
also-
it's
also-
an Avengers movie. You've got the budget.
And-
Why have a scene of just two people talking?
Yeah.
You know? Like,
I mean, just
And I love how he was able to fucking
Yeah,
grab
he's
everything
like,
out of nowhere.
he's a part of this. He's
Yeah.
just like, you do not. No, I understand this. What? Look at this. Look at this. It's
I
great.
hang
now.
out. I hang out with Tony too. Just grab over here, and then the thing magically appears. Which, speaking of Bruce hanging out with Tony, obviously the MCU's done a great job of establishing their friendship and scientific rapport. But having Professor Hulk, Tony, and Rocket all in there, like working on the plan and everything, was such a great,
Such an
great
interesting
moment.
dichotomy of
Yeah.
fucking intelligence right there. Like, because they're all good at very, very different things, but they're
They're all
all
geniuses.
Yeah,
They're all fucking geniuses, so it
Who
doesn't
said
matter.
something to Rocket, and Rocket was like,
Right.
remember, you're the...
Yeah.
it was
Tony.
Yeah.
He said Ratchet, like what, like he said something to him about not messing with somebody. He's like, you're not you may be the smartest person on this planet, but there's a whole universe out there of smart people. Something like that.
And that even works in better as Paul Rudd gets into it, like with.
Now,
all of them.
Hank Pym's Ant-Man is definitely a super genius,
Yeah.
but would you say that about Scott Lang?
no.
No, he's
Not
not
exactly
genius.
as I wouldn't say
He's
he's
a
a
dumb
super
genius.
but
Yeah,
I
he's
would
more a
say that
savant.
he
He's
is.
a sleuth genius.
Yeah, I would say savant,
Yeah.
and especially obviously like a savant, especially at very particular things. Like, I mean, figured out the time thing in no time, and then Tony was like, "Okay, but what about this?" And then, boom, like.
Oh man,
Well, Scott seemed to have the idea, not the exact
Yeah.
how to do
Yeah.
it. That's
Right.
why
Yeah.
they
He
went
has
to Tony in the
ingenuity.
first
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking, so what are you thinking about? Go, you guess what I'm thinking about. Ice pops. Looks at figuring out time travel. Yeah. Ice pops. Yeah, totally.
Which that scene was great because he's just fucking around.
Right.
He's like, hey, maybe this will work. I'm just checking it. He's even talking to his AI like, hey, I know this might not work, whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking-
I love the interaction with Morgan. Shit, like that's your mommy's word. You can't
shit,
say
yeah,
that.
she coined
She
that.
coined it.
And then a classic Tony and Pepper scene of Tony trying to be like interested in Pepper's life whenever
yeah.
he's like so distracted. It's like, what's what was it?
Compost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's new in
new
compost?
composting?
And I figured out time travel.
Yeah, by the way. Classic Tony move. The by the way.
And the setup in that scene, the Chekhov's gun of this movie was laid out in that scene. You don't even see it until the end, but you know, I could put it all away and I could bury it and go to bed, but can you rest?
Yeah.
He would eventually.
You can rest now.
I didn't even think about that.
Yep.
Lighter note. Man, this movie's filled with so many callbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So many
Absolutely.
good callbacks. Favorite one, probably the elevator scene.
That was really good.
Him walking in there with them. And even had like the same, like them start like itching towards their guns and everything.
Yeah.
Like it just felt the same.
He just whispers Elijah.
Yeah, Elijah.
God, that was such a good. Fuck, he's such a good strategist and everything. He's,
Yep.
That was super slick.
I don't ever think of him as like ridiculously intelligent until
He's
he
hung
gets
around.
into any kind of mission, and then it's like, oh fuck, I remember why he is part of this team, other than being
Like
a
the leader
badass.
of the team.
Yeah.
How'd you guys feel about the Hawkeye Black Widow scene on Vormir?
It seemed like it had to happen. that
Yeah,
way.
the moment
Like,
the
we're
moment
not gonna lose.
yeah, the moment that they said they were going to Vormir, I automatically knew
Right.
one of them was about to die.
Yeah, I knew one of them was going to die. I wasn't sure who was going.
I really
Is there any other couple of people that could have gone and done that scene?
No, not as well. The dichotomy between the two of them ever since Avengers has been so good.
I think they. As long as you love the person.
Is there
right?
any way we could have? No. Is
But
there
gee,
anyone?
But no other characters. I mean, other than like maybe if Tony and fucking Potts would have won or something like that. But none of that made sense. They would
Right.
never. Potts wouldn't go.
Do you think Cap and Tony don't love each other?
No, they don't.
They do.
They love
No.
each
They
other.
do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think
But-
that would ever be a thing that would.
No,
Yeah,
that wouldn't have
That'd have been a
happened.
poor way for them to
Yeah.
end Tony's
Yeah.
career
Right,
in,
no,
in
that
the
wouldn't.
Avengers.
It wouldn't have happened that way. I'm just saying, like, there must be other characters that love each other.
I mean,
There definitely is,
Banner,
but, like-
Banner, and Natasha.
But I mean, just
But
say
for
so
the-
callously.
to kill,
Yeah,
to have
that's
that fight
disposable.
scene.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the choreography of how that fight went down to get to the end where Romanov's about to die was just so good. Mm-hmm. Fucking
Taser face, explodey arrow.
See, I knew Natasha was going to be the one to die because Clint had to get back to his family.
oh yeah.
But whenever they're having that conversation about, oh, I think we mean different people, I thought that they both meant the other person at first.
Yeah.
Not they meant each other.
Oh, so there was like biting and throwing. Holy shit!
Damn, sorry.
That's
I
yeah.
was like, ooh.
Not gonna lie, that was what I thought too.
And it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be
I
you.
didn't-
Like, oh yeah, you're
thought
gonna
I
die,
was
bitch.
alone.
Nah, you're gonna die.
Well, it's then whenever
I love you.
the next conversation made me realize they weren't doing that. I figured it out very quickly, but my initial thought was,
Like, damn, these guys are brutal. Assassins till the end.
they are.
Oh my god.
Yes, that's fair.
Clint literally just went through murdering thousands of people.
Do you think he got up to the thousands?
Bad
I feel
people,
like he has.
but
Probably
still
yeah, 5
people.
Years. He probably, yeah.
That's a lot of people.
It is.
Half the population's already gone.
Right.
Clint's helping Thanos.
Sort of.
Thanos doesn't care about the rest of them that's still there.
No, all he wants to do is farm.
Well, he
Still
ended up wanting-
3.5 billion people.
Yeah, that's enough to murder.
Yeah.
1,000.
That's enough to murder.
Yeah.
Is there still room for death?
Well, they were all bad people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
gang
the-
members
Like
and drug
cartels,
dealers
yeah.
and
The,
cartels and
the,
shit.
the conceit behind it or whatever is that
They
you
were
know,
druggies.
that innocent people were snapped by Thanos, and these people like survived, and so like you got Thanos, or they got Thanos, and you get me, kind of.
Yeah.
That's the idea behind it.
Got him.
Now that we've mostly, what were you gonna say?
No.
Now we've mostly gone like through all the intro stuff. Do you want to move to the fight scene?
We've kind of tidbitted in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Dipped
fucking
their toes.
Thanos using his weapon, the double sword.
Yeah.
I thought that thing was cool as shit.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It was so awesome, and it had like the weird kind of same like breaking of physics as Cap's shield. Mm-hmm. Like somehow it would.
It must be made out of some kind of vibranium or some shit.
I mean, it was stronger than vibranium.
Yeah.
It wrecked Cap's shield.
I mean, they may have gotten some adamantium from Fox. Now they have that.
Possibly, yeah. Maybe that was in one of the
Like Lucius.
contracts.
I wonder if canonically he actually, like in the comics, it's made out of something specific.
Yeah.
It's
that's the
probably made out of
same-
something super strong to break vibranium.
That's the same thing that he has in
Man,
the
I was
comics.
super surprised, and Black Panther ran up and did a number on Thanos for a second, and Thanos hit him with the blade with his blade,
Yeah.
and it didn't cut through.
No,
But then
he's got-
again,
yeah, he's got
it-
the special.
He has vibranium as
Absorption.
well.
I know. I'm
He's got
just
these
saying, like,
special absorption and
But
force
if
didn't-
it's a vibranium cutter, I still feel like it would cut
Right.
vibranium.
he didn't break Cap's shield on the first hit.
True. Yeah. No. He it was like full force swinging down on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It was more like chiseling at it than cutting. Yeah.
Well, I mean, which one's stronger, woven vibranium or their third attempt at a vibranium shield?
I just imagine that Wakanda probably has better
Yeah,
technology
that's what I'm
in
saying.
Better-
regards to it.
Yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
I mean, they have access to the vibranium, so
Probably have the most
All they
intimate
want.
knowledge on it. No, but it came from a meteor, right?
Vibranium?
Yeah.
I don't know.
but I mean the reserves are in
Right.
Wakanda.
Yeah. No, I'm
I was,
saying like
I was pretty sure
in
it was an
space, it probably
asteroid or
just
a
is
meteor
around.
that
Yeah.
hit like very, very long ago, and the mountain grew over it, and then blah 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 blah.
yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is it must be in space too. If it
No.
broke off
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. That's adamantium as well, though, right?
What about it?
Space.
I don't know. I thought adamantium was like synthesized.
It's
I think it
space
is
rock.
synthesized. I'm pretty sure.
You sure?
Yeah. Pretty sure it's made.
It's like a what do you call it? An alloy.
Yeah. It's like it starts out as a liquid. Or no, it has to be heated to be a liquid. Never mind.
Does it have
It's like an ore, I believe.
Does it have adamantine in it?
No, it is adamantine.
Was it adamantium or adamantine?
Adamantium.
What's adamantium?
Adamantium.
Vibranium,
That's what's in
adamantium,
Vibranamantanium?
aluminium, aluminum.
Elementanium?
Dude, anybody that says it like that kills me. Aluminium.
That's how rich people say it. Apparently that's
I know.
correct. But apparently so was the rule of King George.
Aw, it's not really their choice.
I just can't get over Cap and Mjolnir. That's just like those fight combos that he did in there were just the best.
I can't get over the moment when, you know, on your left.
Oh yeah, no, Cap on his last leg, he's fucking limping, making his way up with a broken shield.
Thanos called in the army, shows that this isn't really about his sense of justice or
He's
anything.
like, I'm
this
gonna
is
enjoy
this
this.
is this is personal, and it's just Cap. It looks like it's going to be Cap's last stand.
Yeah,
like how's he going to get out of this?
Cap versus the army of
Yeah.
Thanos.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
you
man.
just see the little circle.
No, just fucking Sam, dude. That yet another fucking callback to Winter Soldier. Just the fucking Cap, Sam, on your left. Just fucking- Oh, it was so good. It was such a good call, like such a good way to use a callback.
And the ultimate payoff moment that just gets me hyped just thinking about it. All of them, there's this huge spread, more people than you can count, can imagine. Cap there at the front. Avengers, assemble.
Nobody actually heard him say
Right,
assemble.
exactly.
That was
Nobody.
That was for him.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Man, whenever Strange was just like, "Is that everyone?" Like, who
So
else
do you want
want?
more?
Wait, maybe are they making a call to maybe like there's
There's going to
are
be
there people
more.
that were
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
are they well also I think there were was there anybody that was missing that didn't
No.
that got snapped
No,
away.
everybody was there except for no, Gamora was there.
Yeah.
Only person that wasn't there was Vision.
Anybody? Yeah.
I just meant they got snapped away.
No, everybody that
everybody
got
was
snapped
there.
was
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fucking Black Panther coming out with his army, just the fucking E-bomb.
Yeah.
So good, so good.
So let's try this again, motherfucker. Now we know how you fight.
Even after he said, is that everybody? And he's like, do you want, you really want to ask for more? And then right after, fucking Ant-Man pops out with the Hulk
Yeah.
and fucking, oh, it's so good.
With Rocket and
Jeremy Renner.
did he come out
Oh,
with
it's
them?
Jeremy Rainey.
I think so.
I
Clint?
thought it was. Because only 3 came out with Ant-Man, right?
Did he? Did that?
Yeah, it was the Hulk, Rocket, and Renner. God damn it.
Was it Rayner? No.
No.
Clinton.
Rayner was
No.
what? Rayner was with Nebula and
Yeah.
Gamora.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right.
So it was just Rocket,
he had the
Hulk,
glove.
and Ant-Man
Okay. Yeah.
that popped out. It had to have been. Oh man, that moment right before Hulk snaps. Sorry, we were in the fight, but the moment where Hulk snaps and you hear Paul Rudd just go, "Guys, I think we did it," and the fucking rocket hits.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I thought Ant-Man was dead.
Dude, same,
Yeah.
Yeah.
same.
I
That
thought everyone
fucking-
was dead. Those explosions, holy shit.
Yeah.
But fucking Thor,
You just see his body go flying.
yeah, right. He went limp noodle, full on. He'd been sitting in the boiling water too long.
Yeah. He must have just had the wherewithal to shrink as soon as.
Yeah, probably.
I'm glad they gave us no inclination that was about to happen.
I mean, we knew.
I mean, we knew
We
that
they
was
were
about
on-
to happen.
We knew they were on their way, but we didn't know.
No, they
that
were
was
there.
about-
There was no they were on their way. They were there.
Yeah, they had already came through the portal and everything, and it
But they made you feel so good that you forgot about it.
right.
You hear
It's
the
not
birds,
fair.
You
Yeah.
hear the birds and you're just like, oh, and then
Man, I feel like that was a subtle note.
All those
A lot
birds
of-
died.
A lot of people ask the questions did 50% of the bird population die too?
Yeah, so they
And-
must have.
it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
all.
And then that actually you hear birds chirping.
I mean,
All living creatures is
yeah,
what they say.
Sentience is a sliding scale. So to someone of Thanos's vision and everything, who is
If it lives and breathes.
exactly eternal, the difference to him between a person and a bird is
Temporal.
way less than the difference to him between himself and a person, probably.
Yeah.
How many species actually went extinct because they were taking half their population was enough to?
Yeah, what if there was only
yeah,
one
to sustain.
what if there was only one puma left in South Africa?
There were 2 pumas, and then there was only
Or
one.
is
there
it-
are no pumas in
is
South
it-
Africa anyway.
Right.
Well,
but-
bro, I'm trying to make it's a loose fucking analogy, asshole.
Yeah, that's
Now,
real
is
loose.
it chambered out like that though? Is it 50% of each species,
Would
or is it
just half
50%
the
of
puma
all living
disappear
things?
if it's just one puma?
Well, I'm just
50% of all living creatures. I assume he just went species by species.
so that's the only thing that I can think to make it logical. But what if he didn't?
Yeah, he just took 50% of
Yeah.
everything. What if
Everything. If it
What
would
if
just,
just
all
the,
the
scale
Beatles
was
just
just
died, and then-
Right.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
it was just everything was fine?
Thanos' vision was a little
Why
more
do-
complex.
I'm
than that.
sure. I'm
He
sure.
takes
but-
50% of life, but it's all insects.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
fine.
Well,
You're-
we'd
you're
be fucked.
fine
Yeah.
until the
Yeah, you'd
bees,
be completely fucked though.
except for bees.
Leave the bees.
Yeah.
Everyone else can
Yeah.
go.
I mean, it's still bees are super beneficial,
Yeah.
but there's also stuff.
And did
in
you
the
ever
ground
think
that
about
makes
that?
dirt
If I
work.
kill 50% of this population, is
I'm
it
pretty sure
going
he
to
didn't
fuck
care.
over the whole?
Like you said, it was more complex.
planet?
I think it's the exact opposite. It was very basic. It was a very basic wish that he wanted filled, which was, I want half of the population of the entire universe gone.
Well,
Right.
it was more complex than let's just split the sum total number of living things on
He
this
had,
planet.
he had a very defined ideal, which was get rid of half of it.
Right.
Half.
Yeah.
I want half.
Which is
But
a step
he-
further than just half of anything indiscriminately.
And he did explain on his home planet, if half of each individual species
Yeah.
was gone, not just cut the population number in half.
Right.
Because like we said, that could happen, and then it would just be the insects, and then everything would be fucking funny.
Ant-Man would live a prosperous life.
Speaking of the insects, my boy,
Ant-Man.
him too.
Spiders are arachnids, but it's fucking worth it.
Dude, that fucking. I think it was a Call of Duty Zombies reference. Didn't he say insta kill?
No,
No,
that's a Homecoming reference.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. instant kill mode.
Activate instant kill. That's
Oh,
my favorite.
I thought he
callback
said
of this
insta
movie.
kill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was so good. It happened
Just
so
the bodies
quick.
stacking, like,
The
drowning in
moment Peter
bodies.
Parker just came onto screen.
Mhm.
It's the best.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
good.
that pose, him just in his classic fucking.
Yeah.
No, when he was in the fucking like in his classic Spider-Man stance,
Oh,
like
yeah.
getting ready for battle, when
Yeah.
right before the assemble moment, that was great.
In
And he
the-
runs up and he sees Tony and he just starts like blathering on about everything that happened. Oh my god.
It was just, yeah, man, and everything got all dusty, and then I woke up, and this the weird strange doctor guy was like it's been 5 years, we gotta go.
And then that hug.
This is nice. Yeah,
That
no,
was nice.
He's just the most innocent person
Mm-hmm.
ever.
on that instant kill mode, like he was trying to get away, but the instant kill, like, and the monsters weren't letting him get
Yeah.
away, and he's just like, I'm good, okay, I'm not good. And fucking Cap calling him Queens.
Yeah.
I love that.
That
He
was
said, "Hey,
great.
Queens, look up." And then toss fucking Mjolnir. That was also a cool that was such a good fluid scene because it goes like catches Mjolnir, and just fucking flies with it.
He's like, thanks.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. Gets caught by
Valkyrie.
No, gets caught by Potts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fine.
Gets
Yeah,
caught by
Valkyrie.
Potts, and he goes, oh, hey, how's it going? And then she tosses him like, oh, hey, it's this. Oh my god! Just so many things happen
Valkyrie,
so
yeah.
quick. Yeah.
Oh, and then whenever he passes it off to Black Panther.
The fucking Black Panther in the most inopportune time to take off his mask,
Yeah.
takes off his mask and goes, I've got these.
No, it was Hawkeye that passes it off to Black Panther
Yeah.
Right.
because that's a payoff to Civil War.
Yeah, whenever he's like, Clint, give it to me.
Yeah, he's like, hey, my name's Clint. I don't care. And
He
he's
did
like,
care.
He did.
He did care. What a small payoff. That means little to nothing, but it
Yeah.
means everything.
That was kind of like, if we hadn't seen any of these other movies, this movie would have been bullshit.
I
See,
still think it would have been fucking awesome.
No, this movie is complete trash without the other movies. But that's the thing.
At
Where's-
least watch
where's-
Infinity War and then Endgame.
Even that though.
Yeah, but then
where's,
Infinity Wars were in for you.
where's outside of the cinematic experience? Where's the difference between the Infinity Saga and something like Game of Thrones? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, where's the line blurred? Because this really functions like a TV show, where like in normal film you cannot get away with expecting people to have all of this prior knowledge
Yeah.
and everything of these
Yeah. You
characters.
have to have all the information on the screen.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, like, I only saw Avengers, Ragnarok, Infinity War, and then this movie.
Right. And it's like you can skip. You
But
can.
I knew enough of the lore as a whole to
Right,
be fine.
and you can skip around some episodes and miss some things.
But if you like catch the finales, if you catch
But
the,
if you don't miss out on any of it and then you go and watch Endgame, like it feels just fucking.
it's a love you letter to the fans. It's
Yeah.
like, thanks for sticking around for so long and being a part of all this, and here's all the
Please
conclusions.
stop. In
Stan Lee had a cameo.
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, his fucking make love, not war.
Yeah.
That might be my least favorite cameo, honestly.
I did not recognize him. I was like, is
I
that?
recognized him immediately, and I just hated the way he looked.
I mean, he looked like your typical 70s douche.
He looked like 70s Stan
Yeah.
Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Sorry, no.
Take it back.
Everybody looked like that in the 70s.
Right.
It's not his fault.
Fucking Tony Stark going back in time, and fucking everybody talking about his hippie goatee.
Yeah, his beard being
No,
weird.
that was
He met his dad.
yeah. That
He
was
sure did.
So loud. I'm so sorry.
that was the moment I was kind of like, okay,
Tony's gonna die.
Tony's gonna die
Yeah.
because his story was already so finished once we settled this. But then you get that closure with Howard and everything.
Yeah.
It was such a great moment. And there's really nothing else you can do with him
Yeah.
at this point.
And he kind of, he tells him the flaw that he had that he wishes that his son won't have. That he too often cared about his own pursuits instead of,
Right.
I don't remember how he phrased it, but he was
Yeah, the greater good
Yeah.
really got in the way of my own self-interest or something
Yeah,
like that.
that's almost right.
which is exactly what Tony ends up not
Yeah.
doing at the end.
Yeah, Howard saying that he hopes he has a girl, or wishes he has a girl, one of the two, just because he doesn't want him to be like him.
What would be so bad about that?
That was a nice touching scene.
The
haven't
fucking
talked about-
hologram.
Nebula facing her own self.
Oh, yeah.
Which time?
Committing suicide. Time machine suicide.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, no, that was so good. That was such a good like metaphor. Like she killed herself.
Yeah.
She killed the past. Let it. She let it. She let it die.
She let it did.
She let it did.
She let it did.
To save Gamora.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to kill you a few times, but then we end up becoming friends.
You know, the
And
thing,
we end up becoming sisters.
the thing about Nebula in this movie is that up until then, she probably never thought that she'd get to see Nebula or like see Gamora again.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have any real connection with the Guardians characters, like.
Other than Gamora, yeah.
Right, exactly. Like, so for her, it's not like the thing that she loves that Thanos took away. She can't really get back.
Yeah.
So that's the interesting thing about her. Like, just that drive you see in abuse victims a lot of times. You know, of not wanting to see it happen to other people or wanting to right wrongs and everything, and that sense of, I don't want to call it justice, but reckoning in Nebula.
She also manages to connect with other characters because of the progress she's made
Oh yeah.
as a
Oh yeah.
person.
Her and Rocket holding hands in the beginning.
That was
Yes.
Yeah.
that was beautiful.
It was because they both kind of
They
were
lost-
subject to the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same kind
They
of
don't really
torture.
have. They have nothing else but those people.
They were both experimented on and tortured and used as technological.
You know,
And then they both lost the only
Also
thing they
would.
knew as family.
like that makes me think of Clint and Natasha's conversation about climbing up the mountain. Just like, I bet the raccoon wouldn't climb up the mountain. It's like, technically, I don't think he's a raccoon anymore.
Oh, wait.
Oh, he's not. I mean,
Yeah.
he never was.
Yeah.
But he just resembles one.
Right.
I mean, he was originally a raccoon.
Was he actually like a?
Yeah, he was modified. He was like genetically modified.
Was he taken from Earth? I thought he was
Yeah.
like a. Oh, I thought he was like a parallel species of.
No,
Yeah.
he was taken from Earth. I'm almost sure of it. Just the same way Peter Quill was. It's not that hard to take things from Earth.
See,
Yeah,
what
but
I know
he
about
was
Rocket is
abducted
on
by
the
it.
same lines as what Aaron's saying.
Yeah, he was taken from Earth and then genetically modified, and then was,
I mean, I know he was genetically modified.
or maybe even been genetically modified on Earth.
But
Are you a tiebreaker, Colin? Do you remember
We
Rocket's
have-
origin?
I can
He
check
knows
the
nothing.
facts.
Yeah.
get on the.
Don't do it.
Go on, engineer. Because I've always assumed.
Okay, so we got 3 people.
He was
looking
just like
for
a
it.
space
I would
raccoon.
not use the camera computer to look for things.
What you got?
Not the original. Story. One moment. Strangest origin of all time. Blah, blah, blah. Planet called Half World?
Is that his home world?
Yeah.
Is that where he's like where
That-
he's born?
This planet housed the galaxy's mentally ill, and in order to keep them all taken care of and somewhat happy, their pets were genetically altered to give them the intelligence of human beings. That's where we see him first. I'm not seeing why or where he got taken from.
Rocket isn't exactly a raccoon in the traditional sense, as he doesn't come from Earth by any means, but
There
he
you
looks
go.
exactly like you would. Yeah, see, he's like a parallel species to,
Okay.
to a raccoon.
Okay, neat.
And it looks like all the other animals from that place they look just like Earth animals,
Right.
but they're just standing and stuff.
Yeah, because if Terrans could evolve on a bunch of different planets, it's
Right.
possible, I guess, that other mammals could have.
Right.
There's a lot of different places that would be the same distance from the sun and be able to inhabit the same kind of creatures.
I mean, not
mean-
exactly the same.
I mean,
probably, but
any
close enough.
if we're going by like
The Drake equation.
by our rules and everything, yeah, then any planet that has life has to be that relatively that distance from their star.
that Goldilocks system.
Yeah.
Only if we're talking about carbon-based life forms, technically.
Yeah, true.
And it is fucking Marvel. So.
Right. I'm just saying that distance ratio doesn't guarantee
Yeah.
typical mammalian.
Oh no, I get
kind of life.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, we're getting down to the end game here. What else is there to?
Girl power.
Yeah.
A-Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Fucking Valkyrie.
Well, beginning of that moment before we get to that, fucking Captain Marvel, Brie Larson's
Deus Ex Machina 2.
Brie Larson's fucking Deus Ex face acting in this movie is just wonderful. That look she gives to Peter Parker, she's like, I'm Peter Parker. He's like, hey Peter Parker, you got something for me? Just like look at this plucky little kid out here trying to do his best against Thanos. And then when Thanos fucking takes the Power Stone out and decks her, that look of oh shit on her face right before he punches her is just wonderful. But yeah,
It's so rare for her to encounter somebody who can actually hurt her.
exactly.
Yeah, he straight he either headbutted her or punched her in the head, and she didn't even move.
Yeah,
I thought he headbutted her.
I think it's
Pretty sure
yeah.
it was a headbutt.
That was a moment of
Thanos used headbutt. It was not effective.
Thanos used Mega Punch. It's super effective.
Before the A-Force, the scene with Scarlet Witch
Oh yeah.
when she confronts Thanos, like you took everything from me.
I don't even remember you.
Like I don't even know who you are. Yeah, like you will. Just wrecks his ass.
Oh yeah, it has him up in the air and fucking like ripping off his armor.
Yeah. She could have taken him right
She was
then.
gonna rip him apart.
Everyone who watched this movie probably was waiting for Ant-Man to go up Thanos' ass, and then it was
Oh
all
my
about
God,
Captain
dude.
America's ass.
Yeah, but it was all about Cap's ass. It had nothing to do with Thanos' ass.
That's America's ass.
And it says that's America's ass, then gets towards the final fight. Fucking Cap looks at Ant-Man and he goes, "That's my ass," and runs into Thanos.
My God.
What a way to end it.
I'm mad that they could have hinted at it. They could have at least hinted at it.
Could they have?
Why?
I don't think they cared.
Just
Right.
well, obviously, but it would have been
Maybe
hilarious.
the America's ass was a hint at it.
That's the best ass you're gonna get out of it is America's ass.
Yeah, I mean, fucking
mean-
Ant-Man mentioned an
Oh, yeah.
ass in the movie, so it's kind of.
So
It was-
so who was our A-Force? We had Captain Marvel,
It looked pretty expanded. Like,
Yeah.
it was-
Captain Marvel, Potts,
Shuri.
Shuri,
Gamora.
Valkyrie, Gamora, Nebula, Mantis.
Peter
Fucking
Parker.
little Mantis was running
The
into
one with the
battle.
antenna, the chick with the antenna.
Yeah, oh my
It's
god.
like Rocket just doesn't know her name.
Peter Parker.
Yeah, no, all of them. Yeah, no, it was super good.
Yeah, I'd love to see a team up of that. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of hint of that in the next Captain Marvel movie.
Man, damn it! I just keep remembering things in different fucking spots, and it's pissing me off. Fucking Thor and Iron Man. Iron Man was like he already had this idea of making a charger little spot in the back, like to come out of the back of his suit,
Yeah.
so that Thor could shoot into it
He's
and power charge him.
He's probably had that in each iteration of his suit since like
Avengers.
yeah.
That was so good.
That
Oh,
That
you
was
know what would
insane.
be cool if Cap had thrown his shield and that combine blast had hit it into them.
Ooh yeah, that'd been nice.
I hated how they they threw out Doctor Strange to take care of water.
I mean, he created like
A useless whirlpool
Yeah.
tornado.
He was
It
doing
looked
his
cool.
own thing.
I know.
yeah, he did some like he had some like he cast Entangle.
he brought everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he didn't bring everyone.
I mean,
The entire
Like
secret,
sorcerers,
yeah,
yeah.
Sorcerer Society of Secrets and
But by
subterfuge.
extension,
Quadruple S, the society.
Yeah, they brought everybody. Also, them fucking bringing up shields whenever the rockets were going down. That shit was cool as hell. But getting towards like that'll end after Thanos gets the gauntlet back on him. And then Tony comes up and grabs it and he says, "I am
That-
inevitable."
he just like Robin Hood to King Charles, fucking
Man.
fucked that up completely. It was awesome.
That may be the ultimate payoff in this whole movie.
Am Iron Man.
Yeah.
It ended
So
how it
many
began.
callbacks. Yeah, exactly.
If only those were his last words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those really were his last
Yeah.
words.
Besides
That
the
wasn't-
plot.
It was. They didn't even say Potts. They said, "Hey, Pep."
And that wasn't like that wasn't Tony exactly. That was
Yeah,
just,
that was the
that was Mel's brain.
That was the
Right.
mindless vegetable that was Tony.
Yeah.
that's just showing who Pepper is to him, because the only thing that he could register in that moment
Was her.
was
her face. Yeah. Yeah, like whenever Peter was sitting there talking to him, he was just like,
Me. The artist formerly known as Iron Man.
dude, I thought of the same thing.
Oh.
See, I forgot that he had brought everyone to that time, and so for some reason I was thinking that they hadn't had their daughter yet, and I was just like, he has to tell Pepper that they have a kid.
God, man, whenever she went to turn away and
Pepper didn't-
she made her sad face.
Pepper didn't dust though.
Yeah, Pepper never dusted.
I know, I just I forgot that.
Oh.
Everything that
The
had happened in
timeline,
the
yeah.
past 2.5 hours.
Yes.
It was super time travel, you know.
At one
Fuck
point,
with
I
it.
like slammed myself into the bottom of the chair and almost slipped into the floor.
Yeah, she was reacting hard,
Yeah.
Literally on the edge of her seat.
which is hard to do because they recline.
So, I think the only question that I really have going away from this, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of things as far as like, is it going to be Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or as Guardians of the Galaxy as it should be? What's going to happen with 2012 Loki, and are we going to see maybe some of Cap's life, and if there is an alternate timeline in that life and everything down the road in some way?
See him meet Wolverine.
Who knows what we could see. But my biggest question leaving this movie is, who takes up and of course, it won't be Iron Man, but who takes up that mantle from Tony? Pepper, Tony, or Morgan, because she showed interest at whenever
She did.
she
Wearing
goes
the
in,
Iron
she
Man
goes
helmet.
and she goes into the garage, and Daddy likes to go into the garage too.
Oh,
I wonder how much time's going to pass in between.
I was gonna
this.
say, I think like for now it would be like Pepper
Yeah, well,
until like
This-
Morgan or like Captain Marvel, the little girl from there, gets older.
this movie took place in 2023, so I think that like for the next 4 or 5 years until like our
We're
time
going to stay in
catches
that year.
our time catches up with them, we're going to stay around that time frame probably.
okay.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine they'd want to get too far ahead, because that's a really dangerous game to play when you're just like 3 or 4 years
Right.
ahead of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Because so much can change
Yeah.
so quickly.
So yeah, Far From Home's got to take place at least a little bit after
Oh yeah.
all that.
Yeah. Gonna
Going back
deal
on
with
field trips, everything's cool again.
and it's
How does school work? You know? Because, like,
We had this conversation the first time. Like, what
Yeah, wait,
before and after
why
the
was-
snap? Okay, well, all right.
because they snap
those
back
kids
to
got
the same
snapped away.
age.
The kids
Yeah.
that didn't get snapped
right.
are out of school,
Yeah.
and they're adults now,
Right.
so they're not in school anymore.
well, obviously. but-
Conveniently, all of Flash's team that are in
Right.
the they all got snapped out.
Okay. See, yeah.
Unluckily, luckily.
Right. Because
So
that
they're
would
all
have
still
been
in
weird
school.
if he had come back to his high school best friend and he's just like,
He's just fucking like he's older, 5 years older. That would suck.
that would suck.
You know, like obviously there's been some subtle
I like suddenly had the idea of like there's people dating in high school and suddenly like one's like
5 years
old.
younger.
yeah.
I
Five
mean
Will
years
they
older.
keep going?
I think it's almost pedophilia at that point.
I feel like it's
Depending on-
I
the
feel
love's
like
still strong. The love's still strong.
I feel like nobody in high school is going to wait 5 years for somebody that just turned into dust.
Yeah.
They were just making out at the fucking peak, looking over the city.
They're
listen,
getting
they listened to their emo for a few months and they.
Somebody,
Could you imagine somebody having sex and the person dusted
somebody
off on
somewhere
no.
has ashes in their vagina.
Yep.
It is
definitely.
a thing that happens.
Lots of people had ashes up.
Or their mouth, for that
yeah,
matter.
Or their
I was gonna say
butthole.
mouth.
Or their butthole. At least that's easy to get out.
Oh, what about an orgy?
Oh my god, half of them disappear.
Do the other
Well,
half
are we gonna
finish
finish?
or?
We Anyway, before we got into dust orgies,
Dorgies. Ew, that sounds like Dora the Explorer
You know-
and an orgy.
we
Did you see the poster for Dora the Explorer when we went into the movies?
Yep,
Yeah.
now I'm thinking it's a porn.
I'm the fap. I'm the fap. I'm the fap.
Oh,
We got a
Diego.
we got a little like subtle mention of it in Homecoming or Civil War of a subtle nod to Uncle Ben, but I'm looking forward to seeing that kind of dynamic of and character struggle dealt with Peter in Far From Home regarding Tony's death.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, now his new father figure is going to be Nick Fury, so it's going to be great.
He technically had a cameo in this film since
Yeah.
he said
My
nothing.
God, yeah, no, he was an extra in this film.
Yeah.
He literally just walked out and looked at the camera like, I'm being paid to do this.
Yeah, he might as well have like gymmed to the
Yeah.
camera, you know.
Like this is. Oh, there were a few people in there that weren't in the last one.
Yeah, Kobe Smolder. I don't know. At the
Well,
very
I
end,
mean,
guess.
doesn't
The
that
one chick
just
from How I Met Your Mother
Yeah,
was in there
Kobe
at the very.
Smulders.
Yeah.
aren't they just trying to like basically say, yeah, remember Nick's back, so
They were-
he's gonna be in the rest
Yeah.
of the stuff.
It was
Yeah.
also like it started out with Tony's like little. This is proof Tony has a heart. Then it moved up to the Iron Man family. Then it moved to the next family, to the next family, to the next family, and then it's basically like being like, hey guys, look at all these movies we made.
Yeah.
They're all here celebrating a death.
They might have been in order of the movies coming out, like who was related to who.
I mean, but it's like it showed the kid from Iron Man 3. That random kid that was there.
Was
Oh,
that
that's
that full?
right, yeah.
Oh, the one that was in front of fucking the Shield people.
Yeah.
Are the Incredible Hulk movies canon?
They only the Edward Norton one.
Right.
Okay, but
For some reason.
wait, there's a different one.
There's
I thought-
Edward Norton and then there's Eric
I thought he
Bana.
did-
Yeah.
I thought he did two of them.
No,
Might be
Eric
wrong.
Bana did the first
I
one.
guess
Edward
wrong.
Norton did the second one. Then it turned into Mark Ruffalo.
So, okay, so
Watch
the Edward Norton one.
Transformations with the Hulk.
I got
Every
you.
time he changed into the Hulk, when he came back, a different personality came out.
Colin, could you look up the casting director of the MCU for me real
I
quick?
can do that.
It's not Allison Jones, is it?
I don't think so.
She's cast everything I've ever watched on TV, probably.
Probably.
Do you want it
Proud.
for the MCU as a
Probably.
whole or just Endgame?
I mean, it's the same one for everything but Incredible Hulk, so any movie.
Probably.
Sarah Haley Finn.
Yeah. Yeah, props to her because,
She
like I
created
said,
the best cast of all time.
yeah, every single movie but the
Is
Incredible
every-
Hulk, and that's the one movie that I would say has a shit cast in it.
It is every fucking movie.
I don't know.
That's
I
crazy.
love Liv Tyler.
Yeah, Liv Tyler's good.
Chris Parnell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who of those stuck around?
She also did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and
Agent Carter?
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Those are all.
But
You know.
As-
Yep, that thing.
as we discussed on the way home from seeing the movie last night, there's a dozen different Batmen, and they're all great. And you can have your favorite one.
George Clooney, 2019.
Amen. But there is one Captain
Hashtag
America.
bat nipples.
There's one Captain America, and God damn it, it is Chris Evans. There's one Iron Man, and it is Robert Downey Jr.
There's
and I
one
don't care.
Human Torch, goddammit, and it's Chris Evans.
Yep. And
They were all tailor made for the role.
Yeah.
I
And-
wonder. Well, Cap's dead now. He can go back to playing.
Cap's not dead.
He's not dead. He's
But-
just old.
Cap's okay. Cap's out of the picture of the Avengers now.
Yeah, but his
So they can just recast Human Torch as Evans again.
except that paycheck. He
Yeah.
can still demand that
Yeah.
Captain America money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's no.
Yeah. They're not gonna pay Human Torch Captain America money. That's crazy.
And fuck you, Tom Holland is Spider-Man.
He's gonna get fantastic $4 out of that.
I was laughing derisively at you.
But
Yeah. Let's get geared for X-Men. Let's
Let's
get some
get-
Fantastic Four going. Let's get a Defenders movie. Fuck it.
There's a Defenders movie.
No, there's not. There's a
There's gonna
Defenders
be.
series.
Oh yeah. Well, no, we don't need a movie then. They'll be fine.
I think they kind of fucked it up. Well, I didn't
It is-
fuck it up. It's just it
You did a
wasn't.
great
It
job.
wasn't. Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't. what
it was
could've
fine.
been.
Yeah,
It's
it was
a good
pretty
show.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Right.
really look at it,
Yeah, I
it was
mean,
really, yeah, it did
it's
well.
fine. Marvel
it did
doesn't-
well.
yeah.
I mean, it was-
Y'all done? Done now?
They're never done.
right.
Of course.
Well, I can't I cannot believe that we got here. When the original Avengers first came out, I thought that there's no way they can pull this off. There's no way you can make this many characters in a movie work. And honestly, I think they got better as it went along. And the Infinity War and Endgame, with all the different pieces they had to make work, I think even did it better than the smaller set that the original Avengers and Age of Ultron had to work with.
Absolutely.
You did good.
So,
Proud of you. Good job, Kevin.
tw-
Or I can call you Kevin now, right?
Talking to Feige,
Damn right.
Mr. F.
Oh,
so,
Mr. F, I do declare these movies were grand.
22 movies into the Infinity Saga. With
22 movies?
22 movies.
That's so much money. Holy shit, man.
And none of them were flops. Like the closest
Dark
one,
World.
I don't even think Dark World was a flop. It wasn't as big as the other ones, but it still probably made $1 billion domestic. What would you say? Avoiding Infinity War and Endgame, so 20 movies. What was your personal favorite from this batch?
Fucking shit. I want to say the first Guardians.
That's a good call.
Also, I liked Infinity War. Probably better than Endgame. Standing on its own merits as a movie, I think it works better.
Man.
It still wouldn't work outside of the context at all. But I don't know. I just think it said something more than Endgame ended up saying. Which Endgame just gave you like really good resolution to everything.
Yeah.
But it didn't really have the kind of message or weight that Infinity War had.
Right.
I'm a bigger fan of like the grounded aspects in the MCU. So like the first Avengers was probably my favorite.
Homecoming.
Yeah, first Avengers probably my favorite movie. But then again, Civil War also still has that grounded aspect to it because it is a Captain movie.
Right.
And it also hits me super hard. So it's between those two for me, most definitely.
What'd you-
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, very good choice.
I was already gonna say that as well.
You're
so
gonna say Ragnarok?
definitely,
Yeah, that's-
definitely Ragnarok.
2 movies you've seen.
I've also seen all the Guardians of the Galaxy.
We'll bring it up now.
Yeah,
I
After
forgot
I'm a
until you
douche.
mentioned it.
Reference
time.
to earlier, Thor: Dark World made 644
And all the
mil
Spider-Man
644 mil?
saved
On
Tom
on a budget of 170.
Save Tom Holland.
Okay,
I've
so
seen
yeah,
all the
still
And
Spider-Man
that's
except
just
the Tom
domestic. That
Holland
doesn't
ones.
count
right.
worldwide.
None of those other ones count.
Okay.
But I mean, good on you.
It's $500 million.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with
Need to
your
borrow
third choice
that.
and say Homecoming.
Homecoming's still really good
Yeah.
as well.
Homecoming is really good. I just feel like I have never watched Ragnarok too many times. Then I've probably seen it 10 times since I moved back because Steve watches it all the time.
I agree.
And I'll just sit down at any point in the movie and start watching it and have complete fucking blast watching it and laugh at some of the same stuff over
Oh,
and
yeah.
over again.
I like.
Pretty awesome.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, no disparity on my part. I just really enjoy the way that Homecoming explores the central conflict in Peter of great power and everything. Like the whole movie of him wanting to be an Avenger and be part of the big team and everything. And coming
And
to-
no fucking origin story.
And yeah, but it is in a way because it's the origin of
Well,
him
yeah.
coming like.
But not the same
Become-
thing we've seen 9,000 times.
Exactly, and coming to realize that where he fits in, what he can do, and where he's needed is on the streets and in his neighborhood. You know, like the world needs Iron Man, but Queens need Spider-Man, and that's like a really like kind of a strong development thing for Peter, I think, and even like in Infinity War, kind of brings home is like you can't be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man if there's no neighborhood. And like sometimes a small fight requires getting into the big fight. Yeah, great run. I'm excited to see where we go next, and I'm also exhausted.
Yeah.
Weary if they're going to be able to make another 20.
And yeah, weary if like with it having a sense of finality to it, if people are gonna kind of feel this as a point to kind of
Closure.
jump off and everything.
It's just they're making so much money. I wonder what they're gonna do with all of this if they're not gonna pursue more Marvel Comics movies.
I
More
mean,
side series.
I mean,
Yeah.
they absolutely will. It's just the public. How much
Right.
longer will the public take 3 Marvel movies a year and this ongoing story where they feel like they have to be, like caught up with everything? Like the average moviegoer goes to see 5 movies a year, like in theaters. That's like the average person. So Marvel puts out 3. You got a Star Wars movie every year and 5 or 6 Disney reboots coming out. Like Disney's getting every single dollar of every single person that's going into the theater, it seems like.
Do you think people will get tired of like a Game of Thrones kind of setup show as far as like having 45 to an hour and a half episodes and like doing seasons like
Walking
I
Dead
don't.
still
I think
on
it's
season.
different with TV.
Yeah,
It's
I
like-
I know it is, but I'm talking about putting the same kind of budget into the same kind of budget as they put into the movies
Oh, you mean as
into
far as scope?
MCU yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And putting the
since,
same
since everything's
amount.
moving on to streaming services, I don't see why they wouldn't.
Kinda makes
Fucking
sense.
Doom Patrol has got it's a higher budget. It's still kind of crappy.
Yeah, that's what I'm
sometimes,
saying.
but,
It's like you don't have the same kind of
yeah, but it's still
gravitas
good.
to it.
It still looks good enough to like captivate you.
Well, it's just a different thing for TV and streaming versus film and cinema and everything. Like that's just a different monster where they go from here. And if it can maintain, of course, with them having Fox and being able to slowly work that in there, I think that'll, whatever spark dies after this, I think that'll keep it going.
The reason that I thought about it was I watched Battle of Winterfell last night, which is the newest episode. I'm not going to spoil anything, so just anyway.
No.
Except there's a battery.
But it's an hour and a half.
You know how much
It's
I knew
the
about
name
that?
of the
Didn't know that at
episode.
all. That's 100% a spoiler.
It's the name of the episode.
Didn't know there was going to be a battle at Winterfell.
That's
Jesus
that's
Christ.
the name of the.
Say
Anyway,
that, just say
sorry.
it over with.
Like-
Say what you need to say.
anyway, the episode's an hour and a half long,
Yeah.
and at no point did I get weary of watching it like I sometimes do, like TV shows, because I'll like go out and have a cigarette or like whatever. But I watched it like a movie.
I don't think anybody can pull that off but HBO though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you're ever going to see that
That's
kind
what
of
I was
thing
thinking,
on.
like-
It's like a box office
Because
at
like
home.
Game of Thrones
Right.
is gonna end with the two hour long episodes.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff happens in other places than just HBO.
That's the same scale.
I guess not.
I mean, it's always
And not
Maybe-
2 hour long episodes.
right. You may
Yeah,
have
I mean,
Might get
I've
an
seen
hour
2
special.
long episodes of
Yeah.
regular channeled
I mean,
stuff.
you've seen a two-parter episode that they probably aired together, but anytime in syndication, it's split
Or
up.
a quote unquote hour special,
Right.
which ends up being like 46 minutes or some shit.
Right.
Commercials.
Just commercials.
God. Why do we
What?
accept that?
Commercials?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
with
a
streaming
whole different
services
topic we
not
don't need
having
to get
the
into.
option anymore, it's becoming less acceptable.
Awesome.
Well,
Thank you for tuning into this wondrous review of Thanos Endgame.
In game.
One of the gifts of our commercial desires.
we
Marvel movies.
we will try to get first word for you guys sometime this week, but if not, then we'll do a double episode for episode. Was it 8? I guess it'll be 8 and 9. Wow.
Like a double length episode or like a double?
What is double stuffed?
Okay.
Oh my god, like the Oreos.
Yeah.
Oreo.
Like Thanos' butt.
Oh, man.
Bye.